You're live.
Great. Hey everyone, this is Elaine with Okcoin. Here again this week just to chat a bit about the Polkadot or DOT asset. I think it's an asset that has been performing really well in the market, and we've been seeing a lot of ecosystem development. So I want to talk to you all a bit about the asset itself, the ecosystem, why we chose to list it, and what we're excited about for the DOT ecosystem in the coming months. I think broadly speaking, right, DOT can be seen as an interoperability blockchain designed for scalability. The reason why we think interoperability matters is because in the current state, all blockchains are isolated unless there is a bridge, right? So information that exists on one blockchain isn't easily transported over to another blockchain unless there is an actual bridge between these two chains. And so in the past year or so, we've seen a number of interoperability chains, including DOT or Polkadot, which have come up and are doing a really, what we consider very infrastructural job in supporting the crypto and DeFi ecosystems. Polkadot operates on what we call a hub and spoke model, right? So there are multiple chains or multiple parallel chains called parachains connected to a base operating layer called the relay chain. And so these parachains can be general or multi-use or customized for a single application, right? So you can have a parachain maybe doing something more general for overall kind of like ecosystem development, or you can have a parachain that's specifically designed for gaming or NFTs or something like that. And then the second type of parachain, which is really interesting to the Polkadot ecosystem, are what's called common good chains, right? So these are bridges to other blockchains like Ethereum or Solana that Polkadot is currently working on right now. And so if you think about their hub and spoke model and the relationship between parachains and the relay chains, you see that Polkadot is achieving interoperability by the fact that the parachains are all connected to each other through the relay chain. And then you have the common good chains connecting the Polkadot ecosystem to other blockchains. And then on the scalability side, every parachain can build on top of the relay chain, which already has a strong security base layer. And so we're seeing this type of innovation, particularly within the Polkadot ecosystem, which I think has been something that's been really needed in this space, right? I think we all know that Ethereum, has congestion issues, the gas fees are really high. And so we see assets and ecosystems like Polkadot to be really good complements to the existing Ethereum-based DeFi space. So we're really excited to list Polkadot. As you see right now, this is one of our DOT landing pages that gives you information on all of the ways that we're currently supporting the Polkadot ecosystem. Right now, we have 2 promotions going on to really educate and communicate why we think Polkadot is such a great ecosystem. The first is a buy 10 in DOT, get 10 in DOT, and the second is buy 50 in DOT for a chance at 5,000 in DOT. And so these are really ways that we want to encourage you guys to check out the Polkadot ecosystem. It's an ecosystem that, again, we think will continue to support crypto and DeFi as a whole. And so we're really excited to showcase this to you guys and give you an opportunity. One of the things that actually is a recent development for us is, we've had the DOT USD pair for our US and international users for quite a while, but we recently just opened the DOT USD trading pair for residents of the EU and UK. And so for those who are interested in trading DOT, who maybe live in the EU or UK, we definitely have that pair available to you guys now. So I want to make sure that I have time to answer some of the community questions. I think the first one that we're seeing is why we chose to list DOT. Really simply put, I think it's because we see it as a viable complement to Ethereum, right? We all believe that crypto is going to be a new gateway into financial sovereignty and financial services. In order for that to happen, the technology has to support it, right? So we're not necessarily saying that, we believe in we believe just a single chain is going to support that. We definitely believe in a multi-chain world. And so assets like Polkadot, I think really are advancing that. And I think even within the Polkadot ecosystem, we're seeing a lot of development, whether it's new stable coins or decentralized exchanges or even oracles, I think, coming up within the Polkadot ecosystem. So I think these are all really good developments that we see, that we see coming up, and definitely things that we anticipate will continue to push the ecosystem forward. So I think what would be good for us to do is talk a little bit about how DOT is currently supported on Okcoin. Like I mentioned before, we do have the DOT USD pair. Right now, it's the only pair available, but we are thinking about ways to advance or expand the types of offerings that we have with DOT. DOT is also a proof of stake network, which means that it is a stakeable asset, right? You can lock up your DOT to receive rewards, in that asset. So it is an asset that we are looking at very actively to support in our new earn feature. And so we don't have an exact timeline on that yet, but it's something that we're really actively looking at and hoping to achieve in the foreseeable future. And then I think another exciting thing is to really see what pairs that we can list DOT against. So I think this is something that we are really excited about seeing. We're seeing more adoption and advancement within the space. And so we want to be able to support that interest in the varieties of pairs that we're offering. I'm seeing some questions now about the promotions that we have. So let me go a bit into that. The first one, like I said, is if you buy $10 in DOT, you get $10 in DOT. The reason we have this one is to really give you guys an opportunity to look more at what the DOT ecosystem entails, right? So we think it's a good time and a good way for you to play around with the asset, understand kind of how you can use the asset within different different parts of the DOT ecosystem. And I think it's a really good way to help build your portfolio as you expand into kind of other assets that you might be interested in. The second promo we have is buying $50 in DOT for a chance at 5,000. So we know that we have a lot of really active and engaged DOT ecosystem participants. And so we want to give you the option to kind of be rewarded for that, right? And so for those, every day you buy $50 or more in DOT, you basically have, you add another chance to win this $5,000 in DOT. So overall, I think, we're really excited about the development in the DOT ecosystem. And so we're trying to reward the engaged users and kind of those who are really passionate about the DOT ecosystem to increase kind of exposure to this asset. Let's see. Seeing some questions here from Tolga. This is a good one. Has there been discussion on DOT versus AVAX? Let's see. Seeing Polkadot just remains on the Ethereum side, not much innovation as Avalanche does. I would say that the DOT and Avalanche ecosystems are actually, I would say they're a little bit different, right? Avalanche is very targeted towards financial services. And so we see a lot of the technology and the development there focused on, applications that are targeted towards financial instruments, right? And I think the Avalanche consensus, kind of in the way that it was designed to be so light, is supposed to focus and support that. The way we see Polkadot is that it's much more of a kind of like interoperability chain, right? So it's looking to connect different ecosystems to support a much more general base. Both assets are incredibly, incredibly innovative, and we obviously are really passionate and supportive of those ecosystems since we've listed them, and we think that both provide really important support to the ecosystem or the broader crypto ecosystem as a whole. But I would say that they are both very complementary assets and protocols. Do I consider it an ETH killer? And what do I think of that term in general? Personally, and again, this is, just, I'm sure there are many opinions on this. Personally, I don't think that ETH killer is, I wouldn't say I necessarily agree with that term. I think that, Ethereum, has a lot of benefits, right? And a lot of the DeFi protocols are currently built on top of it, and we're seeing a lot of development, within Ethereum. But I don't think that you can ignore some of the congestion and scalability issues that Ethereum has. I think we're all waiting for kind of ETH 2.0 and to see kind of how the Ethereum chain scales. But I think that with the increase of these interoperability chains, we are entering a world where multi-chains will coexist and continue to support and improve each other, right? Even with Polkadot, you're seeing bridges being built onto Ethereum to ensure that that type of innovation is supported throughout the ecosystem. So I don't necessarily think that either of these chains will be an ETH killer, but I also don't think that ETH in the next couple of years will be the only chain or maybe even the most adopted chain when it comes to smart contracts, right? So, I do think that all of these chains do support and build on top of each other. Sorry, I'm just being told that my screen share is broken, so just going to turn that off. So yeah, I would say that Polkadot is one of many assets and ecosystems that we are really happy to support. I think it's one that we will continue to see grow. I think one of the things that we're really excited about and notice a lot with the Polkadot ecosystem is just how active its developer community is. And so this type of ecosystem is definitely one that we like to see. Obviously, having active developers is a really good way to assess kind of the innovation and the progress on these chains. So I do think that the the Polkadot ecosystem will continue to grow. I think that we're already seeing a lot of development on it, and I think there's a lot of kind of like synergistic development happening between Polkadot, Solana, Ethereum, and I think it's a really good harbinger to what we will continue to see grow within the crypto ecosystem as we see these multi-chain communities arise. Does Polkadot have a trading competition event planned for Okcoin? Not at this moment. Again, we're always looking to see how we can continue to support the different ecosystems of the token projects that we list. And so, if we see enough demand for something, I'm sure it's something that we can consider. But at the moment, what we're really trying to do is provide opportunities for investors and people who are interested in DOT to play around with the asset, take a look at it, understand how it is supported on Okcoin, understand how the DOT ecosystem functions within the broader Polkadot ecosystem. So I'd encourage you guys to take a look at the two campaigns that we have going on at the moment. So yeah, just to wrap up, there are a few things that we're really excited about with the Polkadot ecosystem. The first is that we're hoping to have DOT staking on our platform in the foreseeable future. Again, we think that as a gateway between fiat to crypto and towards financial sovereignty, we think that our earn program or our earn product is something that users should continue to explore. And so we will continue to see how we can add quality assets like DOT to this product. And the second is, there's a lot of really interesting development going on within the Polkadot space. I would say that, some of the Oracle projects currently within the ecosystem are really good foundations to Polkadot as an ecosystem being adopted as maybe something comparable or complementary to Ethereum. So I think we'll continue to see these developments, and we're really excited to see how the Polkadot ecosystem grows. So that's it for DOT. As always, you can find us at okcoin.com, or for Polkadot specifically, I believe the URL is go.okcoin.com.